Hello, everybody. It is I. That's the wrong intro. Hello, and welcome to the Unpossible. I will be your guide, Mr. Shrigis. And today, I don't know what I'm doing right now. And today, we're going to be looking at a potential new hero for Overwatch. And before I get any farther, I just want to say, I'm sorry that this took so long. It's just that I had 3 different ideas to come up with about what series should be first, and I thought, Overwatch will probably be the first one, because why not? So I apologize for taking so long, but I've been jumping from subject to subject, so please understand. So this is Helios. And I know my pictures are probably not the best, but I try to make do with what I have, because I don't have any of those fancy schmancy art programs that people use. So I made this myself, okay? I know it's very apparent. He has 250 health, 100 of which is white health, and 150 of which is shield. His quote is, "Let's light up the world." This is a solar-based hero. Mei has to do with thermal energy, and Moira has to do with biotics. Well, this guy has to do with the sun. As you can see from his appearance, Helios wears a helmet that protects himself from gamma radiation that he works with. He also has a backpack he carries around that's a solar panel. This is used to collect power, and he has a tank in the backpack to collect that power, and he has an escape parachute, which we'll go into in just a moment. Let's go into his abilities. His passive is photosensitive. Helios gains extra effects while he's in sunlight, having access to skylight without being in the shade cast by buildings. He has a meter that charges up while he's in sunlight, from 0 to 100. He can store this energy. He gains energy at a rate of about 5 per second in sunlight without doing anything, which decays at a rate of 2 per second, which is not being in sunlight and not doing anything. It decays while in use in sunlight at a rate of 8 per second, using an ability but still being in sunshine, overall taking away 3 per second. And it decays when in use without having access to sunlight at 15 per second, which is using an ability while not being in the sunshine. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's get into his kit. His primary fire is a ray of sunshine. He fires a laser beam in front of him that extends 10 meters and does 65 damage per second. He also heals 45 health per second to teammates. The beam uses 10 ammo a second, of which he has 50. And the length of the beam, the damage output, and healing are increased by 1.5 while his passive is on. His ammo can be restored by hitting an enemy in sunlight at a rate of 10 per second. His secondary is a hydrogen bolt. Charge up a bolt over the course of 3 seconds that does 20 damage at the least charged, and 90 damage at the most charged. If fully charged, it will leave an enemy with a burn that does 20 damage per second, and lasts 3 seconds. This is the same as Ash's fire, but it just doesn't last as long. The bolt moves at 50 meters per second. Its charge time is reduced by half, its bolt speed is doubled, and damage is increased by 1.5 while his passive is active. You can hold this to charge for as long as you like, but it drains your passive. His first ability, which is his shift, is Solar Flare. Form a tracer 30 meters in front of you, like Reaper's Shadow's Step. After selecting a location, make a quick parabola jump to the location. You deal 25 damage to enemies you land on, and if your passive is active, you light enemies on fire for 3 seconds. It has a cooldown of 9 seconds. Ability 2, which is his E, Solar Sail. Open up a parachute behind you that pulls you backwards into the air. This allows you to float till you hit the ground, which uses your passive while it's open. But you can ditch the sail by jumping. That means that you'd go flying backwards, so it's like a slingshot. The sail has 75 health, so it can be hit and destroyed by enemies. It has a cooldown of 10 seconds. And his ultimate, Gamma Radiation. Helios forms an 8-meter field around him that pulses every second. These pulses do 75 damage per enemies and 100 health to teammates. He gains 1.3 times speed boost and his passive is set to full. His other abilities are still active, so that means he can run around and do everything he could regularly. This lasts for 7 seconds. So, all in all, I made him somewhat of a healing dive character. He can jump in with his solar flare, do damage and heal at the same time, and jump out again with his solar sail. Anyway, that's my hero. I thought it was a cool concept for, no one's really utilized the day-night cycle on some maps, which means that Helios would be very good on some open skylight maps. And yet, he wouldn't be very good on dark maps, like, I don't know, some dark map that's at night that doesn't have sunshine. Way to go, me. What a great suggestion. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for joining me. And remember, the unpossibilities are endless.